Minister Annalena Baerbock, members of the Indian and German delegations, friends from the media. It's a great pleasure to address you all at the conclusion of our talks today. So let me say to the Minister that I deeply appreciate her visit, which of course comes just as we are concluding this year. I think we have met on a number of occasions at the Intergovernmental Commission, at the Munich Security Conference, at Paris during the Bali meeting, on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly. So it's really been a very intensive but a very rewarding interaction throughout this year. And I'm truly glad that we are concluding that, Minister, with your visit to India. I know that there's been a bit of a gap since you were last here in your personal capacity, and I'm happy that you will also have a chance tomorrow to go around a little bit and see some of the changes which have taken place here. India and Germany have a long history of close and warm relations. We are marking the 70th year of the establishment of our diplomatic relationship last year. And our strategic partnership, which is more than 2 decades old, has really been bolstered by greater political exchanges, ever-expanding trade, more investment, and a stronger people-to-people relationship. 2022 has been a year of particular note for us. We've held the 6th India-Germany intergovernmental consultations in Berlin in May. And this was the first since the current government in Germany, led by Chancellor Scholz, came to power. And this unique mechanism of the IGC, it's really ensured a whole of the government interaction with multiple ministers on both sides meeting their counterparts. And it was notable that we saw the launch of the India-Germany partnership on green and sustainable development, and I think in our conversations today, actually SDGs and climate issues, even though that's not my direct jurisdiction, these were also part of our discussions. Now, the IGC gave me an opportunity to spend time with Minister Baerbock in Berlin at that time, and I really thank you again for the warmth of your hospitality then and for the time that you set aside for us to discuss things. Now, today we have really spent the morning exchanging views on the major international issues of the day, apart from our bilateral relationship. And this included the conflict in Ukraine, the Indo-Pacific strategic situation, developments pertaining to Afghanistan and Pakistan to some degree, Iran, Syria. And really each one of us brought to this set of issues our perspectives, and I think at least I can say this, I found it very useful, very rewarding to listen to your perspectives on many matters. We also briefly touched upon the multilateral issues. You all know that India and Germany interact in the framework of the G4 when it comes to the reform of the UN Security Council. We had a discussion on India's G20 presidency, which comes just as Germany itself is concluding a very successful G7 presidency. And I know that we have Germany's strong support as we take up our responsibility in the G20. Among the issues we discussed was also cooperation in third countries. In other regions. I think today our relationship has matured to a point where our cooperation should be visible more and more to the rest of the world. So that was something we discussed. How can we make this happen more effectively? We already have some projects in Cameroon, in Ghana, in Malawi and Peru. But the idea was really how can we be doing very much more? I also welcome Germany's decision to participate in the India-Pacific Oceans Initiative that we had announced in 2019. Where our economic ties are concerned, you all know that India, Germany is our largest partner in the EU. I think we both recognize that the business climate today, the business enthusiasm today is very much stronger. And we certainly, as foreign ministers, would like to channelize that and use it as a positive source of energy for the relationship. We are today supporting the India-EU negotiations on trade, investment, and geographical indicators. We hope that they will progress well. The third round of negotiations on the FTA has just concluded. But I think on a broader scale, I think both of us spent time talking about how to create more reliable and resilient supply chains. In the digital world, how to encourage more trust and transparency. I think we have a common interest, India and Germany, in ensuring not just a stronger global economy, but also a more secure global economy. So as you can see, on this range of issues, really it's been a very productive morning. There was some talk between us on people-to-people relationships. We have just signed the Migration and Mobility Partnership Agreement, and I do think that this will be a very strong signal for a greater, not just a greater flow of talent and skills between our two societies, but I think also as a basis for a more contemporary partnership. One issue which also came up were the visa challenges. And we hope that some of these are addressed in the coming months so that the backlog can be cleared. I have every confidence that there will be that effort made by our partner. A specific issue which came up, some of you may be familiar with this case. This relates to a child called Ariha Shah. We have concerns that the child should be in her linguistic, religious, cultural, and social environment. This is her right. And our embassy is pursuing the matter with German authorities, but it was also a subject which I had brought up with the minister. Overall, I would say our bilateral relationship today is very wide, it's very deep. And it really covers, all the key areas: political, strategic, economic, S&T, people-to-people, education. But it can grow very much, and I think we, the two foreign ministers, I think are particularly committed to make that happen. Our meeting today, our discussions were helpful in that regard. Once again, really, Minister, I thank you so much for being here and for partnering me in this endeavor. Thank you.